Welcome, writers, readers, and friends to the Authors Talking Bookish podcast. I'm Donna Norman Carbone, author of All That Is Sacred.
And I'm Hope Gibbs, author of Where the Grass Grows Blue.
We're two debut writers traditionally published by a small publishing house, bringing to you all the experiences that we as authors learn the hard way, so you don't have to.
We'll give you insights from the inception of a book idea to publication and beyond. And along the way, we'll share our love of books from the writer's perspective.
Hey friends, welcome back. It's episode 64, and today we're talking to Linda Rosen, who is the author of 4 historical fiction novels, including her latest, Abandoning the Script, which is coming out, and we'll hear more about that. I am Donna Carbone, and I'm joined by Hope Gibbs. Hi, Hope. How are you?
I'm great, Donna. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm surviving the winter up here in New England, barely.
Well, your weather came down to my neck of the woods and gave us a historic ice storm. So Nashville was rocked, and I did not have electricity for about 5 days. I still have friends that are just now getting their electricity. So I need for you to come and get your weather.
Yeah. We don't want our weather back. Actually, it's been below freezing here for 2 weeks. Every morning I wake up, it's, below 10 degrees. We are really getting rocked with a cold spell that we haven't had since, I think, 2013.
Yeah, it's been extremely cold for us down here. And I had all these people saying, because I was without electricity, we were with all these friends, we were, trying to survive. And people think I was writing, and I'm like, no, I was not writing. I was cooking and cleaning. And it was a friend of mine, Cindy Dormany. She is also in Nashville, and she's a writer for Red Adept. And she had the same thing. She posted on and I think it was on Instagram. She was like, no, I'm not writing, because you think you would, but no.
You're in survival mode at this point.
Yeah, I can't tell you how good it was to go and eat at a restaurant, something I didn't cook, clean, prep, and all that. And I love to cook, but enough about that, because today we have an exciting episode. We have a good friend of ours who has just written a brand new book that's coming out in March. And without further ado, let's bring her on.
Yeah.
Hello, Linda. How are you?
Hi, Linda.
Hi, I am so glad to be here and listening to the two of you. I'm cold. I'm in South Florida and I'm cold. See, this is a sweater.
Yeah.
So Donna, come take your weather back.
Yeah, right. You thought you left it behind.
Yeah, well, I did. I mean, I'll take 40s rather than 9.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to read your bio to our listeners, Linda. Are we ready?
Thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. So Linda Rosen is the author of 4 historical fiction novels: The Disharmony of Silence, Sisters of the Vine, The Emerald Necklace, and her newest release, Abandoning the Script, available March 6th. Linda's novels are set in the not too distant past and examine how women reinvent themselves despite obstacles thrown their way, and they always feature a piece of jewelry. She is a member of the Women's Fiction Writers Association and the co-founder of the South Florida chapter of the Women's National Book Association, where she holds the position of VP of Programming. In addition, Linda is on the board of Trails of Del Rey, her local chapter of the Brandeis National Committee, and an administrator of the over 5,000 member Facebook group Bookish Road Trip, and the editor of their newsletter, Wanderlust. Fitness professional turned novelist Linda Rosen, after living most of her life in New Jersey and only a short trip from New York City, now lives with her husband in sunny Florida, happily wearing sandals all summer long. When she's not writing, you'll find Linda on the pickleball court, in the pool, or reading with her feet in the sand. We are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. And it's the sandals all year long, except
for I'm jealous.
Yes, I am too. And I love the fact that you're a pickleball player. I play a little pickleball in my spare time too.
I know, but you're a tennis player. I had to give that up when I had a shoulder replacement.
Oh, no.
But pickleball is great though. It's kind of like tennis.
Fabulous. It's a fabulous sport, and people should not think, oh, it's a senior sport. Anybody can go out and do that. There is, first of all, it's not a senior sport, but that's the rep it has. But don't just go out and play pickleball if you've never done anything else.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this new book. I have not had the opportunity to read it yet, but I know Donna has. But I love the cover. We're gonna show in a little while. Love the title. So for those of us who have not read this book, could you give us a summary about it?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much about the cover, which has a fun story with it. And the title, Abandoning the Script, because my main character, Lucy, is an actress. And I will give you my pitch to give you a little summary of it. But just to let you know, Lucy basically abandons the script of her life, or what her life was supposed to be. And her mother-in-law, who is known as Grandmama, also abandons her script. So there's a lot of abandoning what we're supposed to be doing, or what we think we should be doing. But it's about Lucy, who really never wanted the ring on her finger or the baby in the crib. But it's 1922, and there isn't much she can do about it. But how far will she go to live her dream, and at what cost to herself and to those she loves?
Oh, wow.
I absolutely loved this book.
There's jewelry. So
Yeah.
you've got the whole secret and the script that's being abandoned wrapped around a pair of earrings.
Yeah. I loved it. And
Thank you.
as an avid reader of yours, I'm always searching for what is that piece of jewelry in your writing, and how is it going to play a role?
Yeah.
So this story is really told through a feminist lens.
Yes.
And it includes things like the suffragette movement, like post-suffragette movement. The heterodoxy club is something that she belongs to. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about what that is and how you came up with that idea?
Okay. Well, the heterodoxy club, I don't know if you've read the book, The Lions of Fifth Avenue by Fiona
No.
Davis.
Uh-huh.
And it was the first time that I had heard about the heterodoxy club. And it was a secret club in the late 1800s, early 1900s in Greenwich Village.
Mhm.
And it really was made up of women and just a few men, their husbands or whatever. But these women were unorthodox women for the time. They were the first in their fields. They might have been the first doctor or lawyer or whatever. And it was a very liberal club. I was fascinated by it. And so I then went into a deep dive on the heterodoxy club, which is not easy to find a lot of information. Thankfully, I have one book here called Hotbed, and that Fiona Davis helped me find that book, and that gave me a lot of information. But reading about these women made me want to write about them. But I am not one to write somebody's true story. I need to make it up. So I took several of the women and created characters, pulling from each one. And I do have Lucy, who's an actress, and another Helen, who's a journalist, and Crystal, who is a attorney. But I pulled from the real women, who are fascinating if anybody wants to do, any kind of read about them.
Yeah, I loved that facet of the book. And I had never heard of the heterodoxy club. So that was a refreshing read to me. Yeah, that was really neat, because I read a lot of feminist literature. And that's the first time I ever heard that term.
Yeah. The first time was in Fiona's, and honestly, I have never heard of it since, other than reading Joanna Scott's book, what did I call it? Sorry, Hotbed. But I didn't plan on being a feminist writer.
Yeah, right.
Huh.
But all of your books do have a little feminist undertone to them. They're not in your face, but definitely there is like a feminist undertone, which I really enjoy about your writing.
thank you very much. I enjoy finding that out about myself as I'm writing it.
Yeah.
So Linda, that sounds
What were you inspired by for this book?
Well, actually, reading about the Heterodoxy Club was the inspiration.
Yeah.
So I have to thank Fiona Davis for that. That inspired me. And then reading more about it and about one particular woman inspired me, which helped me make Lucy. But I also love writing books about female friendships. And I do that in all my books. And this time I kept wondering, I have my two closest friends, one since I was 3 and the other one we met in kindergarten. And the 3 of us are still closest of friends. One's in Vermont, one's in Utah, I'm in Florida. And yet we talk a lot and see each other when we can. And I wondered what would happen if we couldn't find one of them.
Yeah.
Like, not that they died, but like, what would happen if somebody went away and we never heard from her again? And so I started exploring that with why that might happen. And that's how it came to be this book. And actually, that's kind of how the earring came along, because I didn't know what piece of jewelry I was going to use this time. And I actually asked my newsletter subscribers to send me some heirloom jewelry. And it was a friend of mine who showed me a pair of earrings that had 3 little stones on it. And I thought, oh, that's perfect. And I was going to make the stones the birth stones. And so that's where that came from.
Really neat.
Well, let's look at this cover. Let us look at Abandoning the Script. And I also pulled these up. You've gotten some great author blurbs. One from Patty Callahan Henry, An Unforgettable Journey into the Secrets That Can Define Us and the Courage That Might Set Us Free. And another one, A Timeless Story of the Power of Personal Choices and the Consequences of Following Your Heart Wherever It Leads You. So congratulations on the blurbs, but let's talk about the cover. How much input do you have as a writer? Because some writers have a lot of input and some are just kind of accept what their publisher gives them.
I do have a lot of input. When I submit the book, I also submit ideas for covers that I have. This one was quite funny because I had a vision in my mind of a woman from the 20s in a gilded cage looking out at a theater, because Lucy believes she's stuck in a cage that her husband has created for her. And I went on Chat GPT and I was getting pictures and sending it to my cover designer, and he would come back and nothing looked right. And then he finally said to me, this isn't working. And I said, I'm leaving it to you. And he came back with this, and I just thought, this is gorgeous. And then my publisher's chiming in and saying, this is it. This is the one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I also want to dig in a little bit about the whole theme of drama in your book. And because she is so entrenched in the theater, there are some characters who want to go off and do movies, but she definitely wants to work in the theater. Is that a love of yours, Linda, or is that something that you researched for the purpose of the book? Because you name drop different people in the dramatic world, like Eugene O'Neill, throughout the book, which was really refreshing to me. I liked finding those little nuggets, those little illusions that you had throughout.
I love to put some real people into fiction. Because as I said, I don't write about a real person, but I always throw in some real people. It really was purely for the research of the book. But as I was writing it, I was realizing, as Lucy was saying, she didn't want to be in the movies. It is when you are live that you get the feedback from your audience, no matter what.
Yeah.
Even when I'm giving talks.
Right.
It's the feedback from the audience. And that's what I wanted to stress for Lucy. And I guess I love movies. I love old movies, but it's just something I have about live theater. And it was
Yeah.
fun research because I did speak to actresses to
Hmm.
get their take.
Oh,
Yeah.
neat.
I love
Yeah,
that.
there's a certain chemistry when it's a live audience that you
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know, you kind of find a groove.
You do. You find a groove, and no show is the exact same each time because
Right.
it's whatever's coming from inside of you at that moment.
Yeah.
Uh, well, Linda, this isn't your first book. As when Donna was reading your very impressive bio, you have written three other books. The Disharmony of Silence, which I think is one of the best titles of a book I think I have
Mhm.
heard. You also have Sisters of the Vine, and my favorite cover. I love the emerald necklace cover. There is something about that. Talk a little bit about those books and how your fourth book is a little different, like from your launch perspective or your writing perspective.
Well, when I started writing The Disharmony of Silence, I knew nothing about writing. Um, I didn't know how to write. You know? And that book came to me because I was always fascinated by family secrets. To this day, I don't believe my family has one, but I have heard I don't think so, but I've heard so many from other people, friends of mine finding out who their parent was, was not their parent, who they thought was. And
Mm.
so that sort of set me off on writing about secrets. And somehow, my mother's, or it's actually my great aunt's cameo, which is on the cover of that book, fed its way into the story. And I started developing secrets around a piece of jewelry. That one was the cameo. And in Sisters of the Vine, which was an inspiration, I was inspired by a real person for that, a high school friend of mine who was the first woman winery owner with a woman winemaker in her region. I took her story and changed the period of time and all kinds of stuff. But that also had jewelry in it. That one's a 3 carat marquise diamond. And I don't have that one. I have the cameo. And that was when Lisa Montanaro, the wonderful Lisa Montanaro, said to me that jewelry was my brand.
Mm.
And I didn't know, seriously, did you know we're a brand? I mean, I didn't know I was a
Not
brand.
initially, no.
Yeah.
No, right? Kleenex is a brand.
Yeah.
So it kind of set me off that, okay, now I'm going to have jewelry in all my books. So it sort of helped me to go on to the next and the next with that. And the Emerald Necklace title is probably the simplest title of all, but it was really the whole secret, and everything goes around an emerald necklace. So it was like, why not call it the Emerald Necklace? But thank you, Hope, for the Disharmony of Silence, starting with a phenomenal title. Then the next two are okay. And then I think Abandoning the Script is an incredible title. I love a title that makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're all amazing titles, but
Yeah, they are.
the Disharmony of Silence, that
Mhm.
just, there's something about that.
Yeah.
And I also love Abandoning the Script because as a woman, I feel like it doesn't mean, I know this is set in the 1920s, but as a woman my
Mhm.
age in 2026, I've abandoned several scripts, and
Yeah.
along the way I've picked up a few new ones. But
Mm.
so yeah, it's you have a gift for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you absolutely do.
Thank you very much.
You know what I wanted to talk about a little bit? I know that you have done a jewelry writing workshop. Can you share that with our audience? Because
Yes.
I participated in one of those and it was so much fun.
Well, thank you. I love doing it. It's Jewelry and the Art of Story. And when I can do it in person, it's even better. I think you were on the one
Yeah,
on
I
the
was on a
Zoom.
Zoom
Yeah.
call, I think.
Yeah, but I do it in person when I can get to the place. So what I do is I explain the pieces of jewelry because each one has a fun story or something why I use that. Some of
Mhm.
them have, I mean, the emerald necklace one really has a fun story with it. So I bring that, why I chose that piece of jewelry for the book. I don't talk about the book. I talk about the piece of jewelry and how it relates to the book and why I chose it. And then the people who come, the attendees, they bring a piece of their heirloom jewelry and they get to show their heirloom and talk about it and tell us their story. And then we make up fictitious stories around a piece. And it depends on the size. I mean, I did a talk recently for a women's group that had a little over 100 people. Well, we could not have everybody showing their piece. So, you put the names in a hat and we pulled out like 10 people. But it's a wonderful event for a women's group, book club, any kind of organization. Because what woman doesn't love talking about her jewelry or grandma's pearls or Aunt Mildred's earrings that she has? And funny stories come up from them. I had one where there were two sisters. It was a book club I was doing it at. And there were two sisters sitting on opposite sides of the room. And one of them showed, I don't remember what it was, let's say a brooch that her mother left her. And the other sister got vehemently angry and saying, Mom left you that? Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with it.
Linda, you got a story right there. You could play off that.
Yeah. So it is. And I never realized that doing the jewelry in my books was going to lead to so many things, but I love having that niche.
Yeah. And I love that you extended it in that way, because you're not only sharing your books with people, but you're also sharing, story. And everybody, like you said, everybody has something that is meaningful to them that they can tell a story about. And so maybe you're inspiring other writers along the way.
I hope so. Actually, that does happen sometimes. And people don't realize how much story they have sometimes in the ring that grandma left them.
Yeah.
Well, and as Lisa said, you're leaning into your brand, which, Donna and I, we've done a couple of podcasts on that. It was something, like you said, you didn't know when you wrote your first book. And so that's one of the reasons we started this podcast. And I kind of want to switch gears and ask a little bit about you as a writer, because you're a writer. You're very involved with Bookish Road Trip. So tell me, how do you balance it all? Do you have a writing schedule? What does it look like to be Linda Rosen when you wake up in the morning?
Lists. Lots of lists. Yes, I have lists all over the place because I might have to do something for Bookish Road Trip that day, but then I might have to send an email for WNBA and my pickleball. I'm the president of the Pickleball Club. We're deciding, are we doing a round robin this week? So I'm involved in that. So it's a lot of lists. I don't have a writing schedule. I know people do. They get up at 6 a.m. and they write. No, I don't know. Do you have a schedule? I have to make a date with myself. No. I make dates. Yeah.
But ironically, I have a list. I was writing a list right before you came on today. So I'm a list girl. So
and then the list has a list.
Yeah.
It grows.
Yeah.
It grows. And I always look at that behind you, Donna, your blackboard. If I had a blackboard behind me, you have all these wonderful phrases. My blood pressure would probably be sky high. Lists.
And it's funny? I look at it when I'm thinking about ideas. For me, it's very zen.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Linda, we started a new segment this year. We actually started with Barbara, our friend Barbara Connery, and we're calling it, where we've named it, Rapid Fire Questions. Just little questions to get to know you on a little bit more of a personal way, because a lot of our viewers or listeners are people who don't write, but they're curious about the process and they want to get to know you a little better. So these are very easy, we promise. And so I'm going to start and then Donna and I are just going to alternate. So our first question is, when you're writing, Do you like a hot beverage or do you like a cold beverage?
Absolutely no beverage. I am deep into my story. I don't eat or read. I don't mean, I don't eat or drink. Nothing.
Wow.
No music, no food, no drink.
Wow.
Okay.
That is very interesting.
It is.
Name a favorite author. It could be an author that you will buy anything of theirs or your new favorite author.
My new favorite author is Patty Callahan Henry. I just discovered Patty.
Oh,
So,
great. Love
I would
that.
say, yeah.
Favorite time period?
I don't know what it is, but the 20s keeps coming back to me. That's why I wrote this book set in the 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little side note too. I felt very The Great Gatsby is one of my favorite books, and I felt that atmosphere in your book. So if readers
Donna, if you
like
are
that,
comparing me to that.
no, I'm serious. I do. I teach it every year. It's one of my favorite books, and I
Yeah.
really felt that vibe throughout yours. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, next question. This one's going to be really hard for you, I think. Trivial Pursuit or Jeopardy?
Trivial Pursuit.
Okay.
Love that one.
I mean, I don't play the game, but I do a lot of trivia.
Yes, I
Jeopardy
know.
is like way past me.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to pick one. Which one do you like best? Writing, editing, or researching?
Editing.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Okay.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Dark chocolate with red wine.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
nice pairing.
ironically, in our next episode, dark chocolate is going to come up. So you'll have to stay tuned. Okay, pickleball or swimming?
Oh, now you're giving me a real tough one. Seriously tough one. I would say swimming over everything. But I love pickleball. So some days I play pickleball and some days I swim. I don't do them both on the same day or I'll get leg cramps at night.
Okay. And this is the final one, we promise.
Yeah, last question. What is your favorite place to unwind, or where is your favorite place to unwind?
The beach.
The beach.
Yeah.
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 You're a kindred soul.
Put me on a chair and let me stare out at the ocean.
Yeah. I have one last question for you, Linda. It's not a rapid fire question, but it's a question that we ask all of our guests. What is one thing that you learned the hard way as an author?
I knew you were going to ask that. And I keep playing with this idea. Yes, writing was hard to learn because writing is difficult. But I think you guys will understand this. It was all the technology that I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was just, I'm okay with it. And then they throw something new at us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of technology if you're going to be using it like StreamYard and Zoom. But not only that, I mean, Instagram and how to do graphics. Thank you, Donna, for all the graphics you ever gave me.
You're very welcome.
Technology.
Well, Linda, we cannot thank you enough. We are so excited. Please tell us again, when does Abandoning the Script come out?
It comes out on March 5th, and I'm really excited because that is also Women's History Month. So
perfect for you.
In March. Yeah.
And we know that our listeners are going to want to find you on, your website, Instagram. Where can they follow you?
The best thing is to go to my website. Look at that. You have it really weird with the HWWW.
That might have been a mistake.
My website, linda-rosen.com, because from there you can jump to my Facebook and Instagram and anything else.
And they can pre-order your book there, correct?
They can pre-order Abandoning the Script with a 15% discount. And you can read the first chapter also.
Which I highly recommend, listeners and viewers. It was a great read.
Well, thank you again so much. And everyone, you can always follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, and on Instagram. And really quick, Donna, what is our next episode going to be about?
Our next episode is going to be about the difference between writer's block and writer's burnout and what to do about it.
And I promise that dark chocolate will come up. But again, thank you, Linda, so much. And everyone, thank you for joining us. And until next time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Hope Gibbs.
And I'm Donna Norman Carbone. It's time for you to get to work.
We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks with another tip from your author friends.